Welcome to your next step up the self-publishing mountain.
I'm Matilda Swift, author of quintessentially British cozy mysteries.
And I'm Samantha Cummings, author of young adult books about magic, myths and monsters.
I've written the books,
Changed their covers,
tweaked their blurbs,
tried tools from a dozen ads courses.
and I'm still not seeing success.
Now, we're working together to plot and plan our way from barely making ends meet to pulling in a living wage.
Join us on our journey where we'll be mastering the pen to snag that paycheck.
Hello and welcome to Pen to Paycheck Authors Podcast. I'm Matilda Swift, here with my co-host Samantha Cummings, and we're here to write our way to financial success. We're two indie authors with over a dozen books between us, and still a long way to go towards the quit the day job dream. If that sounds familiar, listen along for our mastery through missteps journey. Each week we cover a topic to help along the way. This week we're talking about writing retreats. Before that, what are your wins and whinges of the week?
Well, I'm full of wins, and I'm going to say I have no whinges. Apart from my whinge is just I'm tired, but that's a usual whinge. My win of the week is that we've just come back from a retreat, which is what the episode's about. So it's hard to talk about it right now. But suffice to say, I am very happy and feeling great about everything in my life. How about you?
Okay, that's a brief one. I, from the moment we last recorded the podcast until this one, I've spent about 20 hours at home that was not on the writing retreat. So very big writing retreat focus week, which was definitely a win, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But other things, I got in a bit of swimming while I was there, which was very nice. And I came back to see my cats. That was lovely. I feel like I had one more thing. Oh yes, this evening I am having a couple of days off writing post retreat, and this evening I was like, let me just pick a really quick admin task to do just to get something off my plate to feel productive. So I updated some A+ content, and that felt very nice to just get done. Took 2 minutes. That's not true. It took about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Because I needed to figure out what the A+ content module looked like, just check I could have it, put it in, figure out, but it was fast. 10 minutes. But in my head I've been trying to do it for 2 months. And I finally got onto it and just did it.
I forgot I did that last week, and it took me longer than 10 minutes because it kept not saving, it kept not uploading my images in a nice quality. And I don't know what was going on. It was just being a bit finicky. So it took me a while to get it to look like how I wanted it to look. But I also did my A+ content, and that was very fun. And I'm also, because you mentioned swimming, I completely forgot that I actually had more wins than just the retreat. I'll mention some more.
Weekend. You came home before me. You must have done some stuff.
I know, but I've just been non-stop. It's just been non-stop, and I've had a lot of family come and visit and stuff, so it's been a bit hectic. But I also got back into yoga last week, and I've been doing yoga apart from this morning when I woke up super late. I'm doing yoga every day again, and it's been really fun. I've refound my inner yogi bear, as I call it, and fantastic, feeling like things are aligning, chakras are aligning.
Well, last year at the same writing retreat that you were not at, we were at a house last year. One of the writers there invited people to do yoga in the mornings, and I was the only one that came. And I've been doing it. I haven't done it every day since then, but I've gone through phases where I've done it every day for a long period, and I've maybe been doing it every day for a few months now. And it does just absolutely, I was going to say center me. No, that's not a word I would use. But it does gets me nice and focused, and gives me a little bit of time to prioritize myself. And I choose a yoga person on YouTube who is not all about flow and stretching. It's very slightly uncomfortably long poses.
Yes.
And it makes me just have 10 minutes of doing nothing and really just trying to slow my thoughts down. So yes, I love it. And yeah, my dad is a big yoga fan. He's been trying for ages to get me to do it, and I really feel annoyed that he's won. And he was right.
Well, I used to do it.
He was right.
Yeah, it's great. I forever try and get people into it, because I used to do it every day for 3 to 4 years. I was doing it every day, and super, super into it, and got loads of people into it. And I just love stretching. I'm like a cat. I just want to be stretching all the time. I don't know why I'm not. And I fell out of love with it because I forgot I forgot what the meaning of it was. Like I forgot what I was doing it for. So I'm glad
yoga.
Yeah, like I've like re-found the true meaning of yoga for me through you. So thank you.
Well,
very helpful.
It was through Rose that I found it. So thank you, Rose.
So where are we in our list? Topic of the week. Sorry, my brain's just like all over the place. Topic of the week. Yeah, we've just
the writing retreat.
From the writing retreat. Yeah. So how do you feel?
So good. I was there, like I said, slightly longer. So we went to an abbey, which I'd forgotten the beginning of the week. We went to an abbey, which I thought was where nuns lived, but it turns out it was confused with a convent. And there was actually monks there. It was a monastery, and they have space. They have retreat space, which the other people there were a couple of people in the same building with us, were there for retreats to be religious. And then we were just there. There were 11 of us writing, and we were there for Monday to Friday. And it was beautiful. It's in like the Yorkshire countryside, and it was like sort of a good mix of sunny and drizzly and stuff. So fantastic settings. And we saw little rabbits around. We saw a hare, and there was like a nice garden. So very restful and peaceful. All our meals were cooked for us. We did yoga in the mornings in a big room. They had a bizarrely gigantic TV where they put some yoga on. And then we would write all day. And then in the evenings, we just hung out and talked about writing and publishing. It was the dream. Living the dream. And then I stayed an extra couple of days at the end in a hotel with some other writers to get some more words in. So yes, I feel like my best self, but also quite tired.
Yes, it's exhausting because, well, as somebody who loves socialization but also needs to be alone to recharge, I was really worried that it would be like not overwhelming, just like really like draining. But actually I wasn't drained at all, and I think it's more to do with the people rather than the people. So rather than just generic people, I think it's because we all had so much in common, and we all knew what everyone did, and there was no like difficulty in socializing. It was like we were all colleagues, and it was just very easy to talk to everybody. And yeah, I didn't feel drained at all. And also like it's kind of nice that we could all work together, but also we all went off on our own whenever we needed to. Like I went and worked off on my own every day for a few hours, and like went for walks on my own, and then came back and talked to people. So it was really nice that it wasn't like enforced socializing. Everyone
had like different schedules, so everyone like went to bed early or late or whatever it felt like. So and I think it was nice that there was no obligation to be sociable. Like everybody there was very inspiring. Just take yourself off to bed after dinner, it's fine. Didn't even know you're missing.
It was so casual, and it felt like what it would feel like if you lived in a writer's commune, and it was just so comfortable, and everyone took everybody else just as they were, and like we all had our meals together, and that was so fun, like sitting with different people every meal. It felt like it was mealtime, like constantly.
A lot of mealtime,
It was so much mealtime. The food was so good, and it just was so just like the perfect experience of being creative, getting alone time in a countryside, and then like having fun and chatting to people who get what you do. Because that's the trouble is I then met up with my friends on Saturday. So I came back on Friday, and because I had a lunch with some friends on Saturday, and they're some of my oldest friends, and they never ask me about writing, never talk. We never talk about any of it because it just doesn't like it's just they don't know anything about it, and that can be really like it feels like a very
feel like
disjointed,
you're like season 2 Fleabag.
Yeah, it's like just like so disjointed from the rest of the world. Like they're talking about kids, and I love them, and I love talking about their families and stuff. So they would like talk about kids, and we talk about the rest of our lives, but to not talk about something that's such a huge part of my life can sometimes feel a little bit like I'm kind of not involved at the same time. So it was so nice to be with people who every single conversation we could have, well, we obviously don't have to talk about writing, but because it's all we do, it was just casual. We talked about writing all the time and how different our processes are, and this is what I do, and like these are the things that I'm interested in. And it was just like I've never experienced that before. I've never spent that much time with many writers before, so it was just like heaven. and I finally didn't feel like it was like finally feeling like, oh, this is what it is like to feel normal in a group of people. Yeah. Which is a weird experience because I always feel like the black sheep. I've always felt like slightly the odd one out, and I didn't feel like the odd one out ever the whole time, which was bizarre. I think that's strange to think. That is the feeling that it was. It was that I felt like I fit in for the first time. Yeah. So just casually, life changing.
Yeah. So this was your first retreat. If someone else were thinking about going on a retreat or they were wanting to plan something, do you have any first retreat advice for people?
I would say don't be scared to do it. I think finding the right place and the right people is obviously the hardest part, but once you get together with other writers, I think you're on the level playing field. So everyone knows what you're doing and you don't have to explain it to people. You don't have to feel guilty about wanting to spend time on your own. So I think that's probably something that I'd say is don't be scared that you have to constantly be working with people next to each other, talking about what you're doing. One of the things one of my friends asked me, and she's far more into writing than anybody else in my life. She asked, "Oh, are you reading your work aloud every evening after you've done it?" And yeah, because she writes poetry, so she went on a writing retreaty thing, and she was doing poetry, and I'm assuming that they were all reading it aloud what they'd worked on that day, and I was like, no, absolutely not. So don't think that you have to do that. that's not a thing.
We did have a play performance, which was so lovely.
I think everyone has been thinking about it ever since. That will stay in my head. I said this at the time, I want to remember this forever. I think that will stay in my head for a long time. It was so good. So one of the people that was with us on the retreat had won a placement in a 10-minute play writing competition. And she brought the script along with her, and 3 people acted it out. The writer who wrote it, and then another writer was the narrator and one of the characters, and then Matilda was one of the characters as well. And it was so much fun, so good. And it was just 10 minutes, but everyone was so into it. And
the writing was so good. Yeah,
the writing was so good. And as somebody who doesn't often like the idea of watching a play and being that close to people, because I just find it a little bit oh no, I don't know. Because I don't like the idea of acting, so I get a little bit feel awkward about it. But I instantly didn't it was. It was so good. It wasn't like watching Amdram. It was like real actors acting. And Matilda does a fantastic Southern accent, a Southern American accent.
It wasn't the accent that the character's meant to have, but it's the accent I can do. So that's what that's what the character got. Oh, one of my characters with me, she's just trying to destroy the whole podcast set, so I'm just going to move things aside. But that was so nice that she felt comfortable enough to do that. So she had flown over from America for this retreat, and she is the only person who I think could have flown in. We had another person that was meant to fly and they couldn't in the end, but she had flown in. And last year she didn't know anybody except for the one person organising it, and I think what's good about this group is everyone's at really different stages. So this person came from an editor background, and then got really into editing cozy books and other mysteries, and then had started writing. And then last year, she started writing a mystery but hadn't finished it, and this year she was just finishing something up. And it was just I think so nice to have her able to feel confident. And the play wasn't a mystery. It was, it was very Tennessee Williams. And she felt confident to send that play around to people and be yeah, perform this for me. Fine. And we were all, happy to just jump in. And it just felt like I want to live in a world where that happens all the time.
Yes, that's honestly how I felt. It felt like living the life that you envisioned for yourself. Working with people who you feel so comfortable with, you could just stop, drop, and play whenever you need to. Let's just act this scene out and see how realistic it feels. And I think just the place itself, I felt so comfortable there. It was so nice. I guess that I said this to my boyfriend earlier. It's just because all responsibility was taken away, which I know that's the point of going on a holiday. But when I go on holiday, I don't tend to go on holiday and relax. I go on holiday and I walk around cities and go exploring. I never just do nothing.
Can I say it wasn't relaxing in that everyone wrote, you know, probably at least 5,000 words every single person, and some people wrote tens of thousands of words.
I guess you could say that's not relaxing. To me, that's relaxing. I
Mhm.
loved I think it's because I've been working on my schedule so much when we're talking about writing schedules. And last week was the first time that I did a writing schedule and like a life schedule, like a whole day schedule every single day that felt like that's how I wanted it to be. So it felt relaxing because it felt like I'd fallen into a rhythm that was repeatable and was comfortable and didn't leave me completely drained at the end of the day. Like I was waking up at 7 to do yoga, and then by 9 I was sitting down to write, and by 12 to 1 o'clock I'd finished my writing for the day. And then for the rest of the afternoon it was just like admin or going for a walk, and then
Going
dinner.
to get some beers made by the monks.
Yes, going to get some beer or the cider, which was outstanding. And then I was in bed by 10, asleep by 11, up again the next day at 7. It just felt like that was, with all other life distractions taken out of the way, a 9-to-5 job, like having to cook my own meals. It was so good.
But even like, you have to think about your own meals. Like, I don't cook my own meals, and yet there was no choices. You arrived at dinner hall, and they were very accommodating. So we've got a few dietary requirements between us, and they'd really gone out of their way. Then I got the feeling they didn't have a lot of dietary requirements there normally. I think the monks probably they're a meat and 2 veg sort of monk, a monastery.
Yeah.
But they went out of the way with every single thing to make extra meals. And it turns out I'm quite fussy with my food. I feel like I didn't know this, but I think I don't like English food. I'm not very fussy with like other countries' food. So yes, I don't like. I do eat fish, but I don't eat meat. So one day they served cod, and I actually particularly don't like cod. I just can't eat it. It makes me feel very sick. So then they cooked a different fish on a different day, which was absolutely lovely.
Yeah, they specifically made you something because they knew you didn't like it. It was so sweet. It was so sweet. And and they clearly I was obviously the vegan person there, because just to ruin it for everyone. But they were so accommodating and were making me vegan biscuits and delivering.
They made cakes
biscuits
every day for us.
Every day they would deliver
and then
cakes and biscuits.
Cake was so lovely.
And a separate vegan cake for me. Always like vegan shortbread every day, which obviously I had to eat because it's rude to not, to let it go to waste. Vegan meals where they were just trying something new. Like they made one particular thing and they said, "Oh, we made this and we tried it whilst we were making it and we think it's really good." And it was like they'd really put the effort in to try and just actually make stuff that wasn't just, here's a slab of like corn or here's some tofu, like some grilled tofu. It was so like what they were doing was just really creative. They were coming up with dishes for me. And I felt
and all the staff there seemed so happy and relaxed.
Yeah, everything about it was just like my perfect life. And I said to my boss that unfortunately now I know what it's like to live in a monastery with monks. That is now somehow my new life's ambition. Yeah, yeah, sure. I can, if they let me live there, I can pay that like the weekly fee.
You know what? I calculated it, and it's quite expensive.
It is expensive, but to not then have to pay for meals and stuff.
I did the sums, and I was like, "Could I just move into the monastery?" No. It's basically, it covers my entire monthly budget, but like my entire monthly budget does also include things like, paying for my cats and going on occasional holidays and buying people gifts. So if I never did anything apart, if I were a monk, but I'm not become a monk then. I can do
a couple of shifts in the kitchen to help pay my way. I used to do that when I went hosteling. I used to go and do like the kitchen shift, which was always really fun. So I could do that. I could chip in.
Yeah,
just put in the garden.
I think the good thing about going on a this is like it really helps you see like what do I need to be my best writing self.
Yes,
and partly is like sometimes I need things that I just couldn't get in real life. Like I need to have everything organized for me. I want a housekeeper. I as always want a housekeeper. That's what a housekeeper would give me. Is she would make all my meals. What I want is for her to come in the morning with a checklist of things I have to do that day, and then I tell her I don't want to do them, and she just insists. And she's picked out my outfits, and she's like sorted out any admin.
Picking out your outfits as well. Oh my goodness.
because she knows I don't have. I'm not wasting my mental energy on that. Because we'd taken like limited amount of clothing with us, right? We'd gone somewhere. You won't have to like even think about that. You're like, oh, I was gonna wear that today, and it's not clean. It's like, doesn't matter. You just pick a jumper up from the wardrobe and put it on. And yeah, because we were like inside most of the time. Like nobody was that fussy about what they were wearing, and we were just hanging out and chatting. And then there's enough people around. There were 11 of us. There were enough people around that people could have different schedules. If you want to have a chat for a while, you could find someone that wanted to have a chat, or if you wanted to be, off in the little garret just writing all day, you could do that. And it just felt like I think it really helped me see I am not lazy. I cannot do. I'm not distractible. I just haven't got my life set up in the way that is most productive for me.
Yes.
And I know what I can do. Slightly annoyingly, actually, I didn't get as much in the mornings as I wanted to do. And I'm trying to plan a schedule for after I quit my job. And I thought I would use it as a test of it. And I wanted to be able to say I could write 3,000 words in my morning shift of a planned book. And that is not true. I did not achieve that all week. I only did 2,000 in the mornings. And then I do 2,000 in the afternoons and then 1,000 before bed. Which is fine, but that takes up literally all your day. And so I need to have a rethink about how I'm going to plan my writing year. And actually, I think what I might do is just more intense sprints like this, because I wrote so much and I had planned nothing of this book because I came directly off submitting another book. I had a book out that week we were on the retreat. I had a book out on Wednesday and I submitted it to Amazon on Saturday at like 8 minutes to midnight. So Sunday, we talked about it in the podcast last week. I had a good like recuperation period. I took a walk, I read a bit, and I had like some planning ideas for the book, but like not a lot. So then I showed up on Monday morning and I set off from the train at like 6:30 because I wanted to like serious words on straight from Monday. And I think because I knew what I was going into, like I knew I was just going into this like absolutely isolated world for writing. I felt so energized, and I just started the first couple of chapters of the book, and it was spectacular. It was just like full of coziness, which I actually find it really hard to go from book to book and keep the coziness, because a cozy mystery needs like just a lot of whimsy. You need to have lots of ideas come to the fore and like add details into everything and like sensory richness. And like if I've just come from editing a book, I actually find it quite hard to flip into that. But because I knew I was just going to have this week of doing this, my brain was just full of delight and whimsy. And so I wrote so much. So I've written 26,000 words of first draft words, and I will do a second draft on those, and then I wrote 7,000 draft 0 words, so like there's sort of a mix of dialogue and description and notes to myself, but that's planned out the whole rest of the book. And I could write that this week. I'm actually going to do something slightly different this week, so that I think I'll go into a week after. But if I were working full time, I could definitely, if I could find a way to like have this energy, I could do a book in 2 weeks. And I actually much prefer to write a book densely like this, because in a mystery, what I like to have is lots of threads and lots of like little details that pay off several chapters later. And I find it really hard when I'm writing very slowly to like figure out where to put those, and I have to go back and like reread several chapters to figure out where to put that. But if I'm keeping it all in my head all at once, I can just like drip, move them all around, fill things in, and make it seem like, oh my goodness, I never could have guessed that I was going to go there. It's like, I know, I'm a mastermind.
Oh yeah, it's you definitely got a lot of words down, and like well done, because that's insane to not have a plan as well and just to go straight into that. Well done.
Yeah, I mean it's book 5 of a series, and it happens directly after book 4, which I just finished. So I think it was the only situation where I could have gone straight into a book with no plan. And I've literally no idea what happens in book 6, which is annoying because I could do with writing that quite soon. But I think I was worried that I was going to feel so tired from like my very last minute editing the last book, and also like bringing editing energy rather than creative energy. And also the fact that I had to get a lot of words in this week because I don't have any more time in my schedule. If I didn't get a lot of words in this week, I was going to then face like 2 months of just like real hard slog again, which I just didn't want to do. I've just done a couple of months of hard slog. So I was like, but I thought all that pressure was going to mount up and I wouldn't have a good week. But it was so nice to see that like the feeling of being on a retreat, that feeling of like being able to just absolutely let go of real life is so restorative to me. A bit like when I went into the woods, like before I went to the woods where there's no Wi-Fi and I read my Kindle, Like that has such a profound impact on my mental state that I really need to remember that. That's why I'm saying it so deliberately right now. Remind me of it when I'm like, I'm too stressed. What can I do? Like, just go into the woods, or
Yes.
take a day where that you just get pampered all day. You can't think about anything. You can't do anything. People serve you all day. Yeah, it's delightful. And yeah, so I think what I might do in future is try and find a way to, rather than think I'm going to write 3,000 words in a morning, is separate off like 2-week sprint sessions where I just do nothing. I have to push all admin aside. Everyone knows I'm not really around. I don't do any emails, nothing. I did my newsletter last week. That's the only admin I did. On that, I just write books, and then I could get loads of books done.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Yeah. I found that between 9 and 12, so I was doing like 2-hour sprints, I can write 3,000 words. And
that's 3 hours.
3 hours, sorry.
Okay.
I was doing 2-hour sprints with some breaks in. So to me, it's 2 hours. There was some breaks in there. But I got between like breakfast and lunch was getting 3,000 words written. And that is like a great day for me, because usually I would obviously have to break that up in between work or just doing it after work. And it's nice to know that like in the morning I actually can, because I always tell myself I'm just not like, creative juices don't flow in the morning. I need to wait till the evening. But I think I've just like told myself that because it's the only thing I can do. So I've told myself that that's the only way I can work. But it was nice to see that actually getting it done in the morning and then having the afternoon to do things like admin and to just like refresh myself and get to relax to prepare for like the next writing the next day. It just felt really nice. Like, oh, I actually can write quite a lot during the day without it feeling like it's very stressful. One day, I think it might have been on the Thursday, I wrote 5,000 words that day. Through the day, because I did a couple of extra little bits. Like I went to bed and I got in bed early and I wrote in bed, which I never do. I never ever take my laptop into my bedroom and never write in bed, because bed is just for sleep. And and it was so nice, just like sat all cozied up with my little writing sprint video on, listening to the train or whatever I was on, and
I
like
wrote
the
before
fake
bed
rain
every evening, and that's just like a way to get like an extra 1,000 words in.
Yeah,
and it felt really good.
Yeah, it was such a nice, cozy thing to do. I really felt like I exercised my inner creative being that like all of last week. It was like every single thing that I needed and wanted to do as a creative person, it was like was seen and was met. And I just can't wait to go again. I want to go again. In the end, up until today, I've written 20,000 words of my book, and that to me is
amazing.
Insanity. And now I just got to train. I can't keep up that pace, but it's nice to know that if I need to write 3,000 words in a day, I could. It'll take it'll take a good few hours of a chunk. Yeah. Just wake up 3 hours early. It was really just the best that I could be. That's what it was. I think that's it. Like a writing retreat is the best that you can be. And whilst it's not that you can't live like that, obviously, that's impossible, because even if you were at home, like having
wait, my housekeeper, then I will.
Even if you're at home, if you're a full-time writer and you're at home, I don't think that that's actually possible. You can't emulate that best living
if I had a
experience.
housekeeper, I wouldn't be able to live like that.
No, because I think other things would creep in, like your responsibilities. You'd think, oh, I need to call the plumber, or I need to.
That's a Mrs. Hudson job. I'm not doing those things.
Okay, well, she sounds fantastic, and please can you clone her and send her to me? Yeah, but until you find her, you will be worrying about the other stuff, and that's distracting. So it's obviously impossible to, unless you're like a billionaire, where you don't have to worry about anything. It's not a practical thing to aspire to, living that life, because it's just never going to happen. But the idea that
I was talking to somebody else. Yeah, it's good to know and like take parts from it. But I was talking to somebody else when we were in the hotel, who was just saying like, knowing how good your writing goes when you're not distracted, can you find ways like maybe alternate weeks of like, I put all my call the plumber jobs in week A, and week B is just for writing. And I think I will definitely try and do that. And I have so few of those things. If I'm organized, I could definitely do that, because I don't have, like, I live alone, so it's like, who's going to actually get in my way? I have to call the plumber. I have to call the plumber this week, actually. That's annoying. But it's on my to-do list, and what I could do is schedule it for my to-do list in a admin week, and have like writing weeks and admin weeks, because the uninterrupted time. And the question is, like, can I do it without other writers watching me? Because that has a big impact on me. It's just having the people there, being able to see you on your phone, and you don't want people just to watch you have come to a writing retreat to be on your phone, because that is just like,
it is enforced
I think
work.
Also yeah, I think also I want to figure out like what it is that is making me like procrastinate a lot, because during that week I was tired, but
I didn't sleep great.
I slept so well, you know me. I slept fine. But like, I was tired from all the work, but at no point did I think like, oh, I'll just stop for today and like I'll give it. And like, there were days when I did fewer words, because I literally was like, I was in bed writing and my laptop was like about to slip onto the floor. I was like, you know what? I actually don't need to break my laptop over this. I'll just catch up tomorrow. And I ended the week a couple of thousand words short of where I wanted to be, because I had planned to write the same one every day, and on Sunday I had to travel back, and then I also saw my brother and my sister-in-law for dinner, and I was exhausted, and I was like, you know what, actually, I don't need to kill myself to write these last 2,000 words. I'll just do them next week. So I got slightly less than I wanted to do, but it was absolutely fine. But in my day-to-day life, I do struggle to keep myself like working that persistently, and it's because I tell myself I'm tired, but it's like, it's not tiredness, it's like a procrastination that is like, my body is trying to distance myself from something that I think is maybe important, or I'll do badly at. Like, it's trying to get rid of this negative emotion, which I didn't have on the retreat. So I really want to figure out how I can not have that. But maybe some of it is just like, you know, we even had a coffee machine. You just pressed a button, you got a coffee. You didn't have to think about like waiting by the kettle while it boils.
It was
putting
so
the tea
good.
bag in, getting the milk out of the fridge. And like, maybe I need more automated things in my life.
Yes.
On days when I'm going to have like intense writing time, and like even have like my meals prepped, and like put them in a Tupperware of like breakfast, lunch, dinner. Just pick those out the fridge and eat them. Don't think about it. I go full Steve Jobs.
Yeah, that's it. Like, just get a coffee machine that's on a timer, and when it beeps, you know it's coffee time. You get to get up and go and get your coffee. Made. Yeah, tea. The best. It was so good. Like, having a pot of coffee always on. And I know, like, in the mornings, somebody who worked in the retreat was putting a big pot of coffee on. And then I know after we drank it, somebody else who was on our retreat was refilling it. And I did it once, but mostly somebody else did it. And so she may not have thought that the coffee machine was a fairy, like a gift from the fairies. She was the fairy, and every time we went into the kitchen, it was just magically full. But I liked it. Thanks very much. It was wonderful.
And that's what your Mrs. Hudson would do in the future. She would make sure the coffee machine was always filled.
I mean, my own Mrs. Hudson does make me coffee and does the coffee machine
your actual
for me.
Boyfriend.
My boyfriend, yeah. Every Saturday and Sunday, I just wait for him to get up so he can make me a coffee, because I don't want to do it anymore. So he does do the coffee machine, and he brings it to me. So I do have there are some benefits to living with someone else. I think it was such a fun experience. I'm so glad I went, because I was so not scared or anything, just my usual, you know, the day before. Like, I was really excited, but also I hate traveling. I love going away, but I hate the traveling part.
Like being on a train.
I like being on a train, but it's the fact that my train was like 3 trains. So that's the bit where I was like, oh, it's like, I have to drag my ass.
Whereas my train was 1 train. I live closest to this location, and not quite closest, but I live the most convenient location. It is ideal for me.
I used to where I lived. It used to be 1 train, and that was a fantastic journey, because it was 2.5 hours of pure, like, beautiful scenery all the way there. But I had to kind of schlep to like different stations. I had to get a tram. I had to do all the stuff, and it's just it was just a pain in the butt. And to me that just adds it's like a sour taste to the whole experience. But I'm just going to wipe it from my memory and hope that next year when we go, they'll have fixed the trains. Manifesting. Like,
I mean, you could also just drive there as an option.
I don't like driving longer than an hour. I get very bored. I just want to look out the window. Even though I am the driver in my family, like my boyfriend doesn't drive, so I have to drive everywhere, and we don't drive longer than an hour because I just want to look out a window. It's so unfair that I can't do that. Like, I don't want to look at the road, and it's dangerous if I get bored when I'm driving. So I don't tend to do long drives, but maybe I will, just for the sake of it. We'll see. But I do love a train journey. I'm just, I don't know.
But it was so good that we are going back next year. And in fact, some of us are going back twice next year. So I'm going back twice. And I would maybe go back more times if I, win the lottery.
Yes.
And it's not expensive, but that's also a good thing about it. It's like, it's not expensive. So it is very worth the price if you factor in like the food and the location, the writing you get to do. It's just like, it's money.
Yeah, it was so beautiful. And we also, just as like a little side adventure thing, we went to one of the masses, like the Vespers, like Latin chanting. And that was, as somebody who, sorry to listeners, is what's called a lapsed Christian, as somebody who's not particularly interested in the ritual of any religion, it was still really nice to go and see them, like to see them enjoy it. I kind of love people enjoying religion. I like it's just not for me, but I love other people who are practicing religion, and it was so nice. It was so soothing. The whole place was just like a vibe for me. It was just,
I mean, they were doing like Gregorian chanting, like it was magical. Just like the music of it was lovely, and the abbey there was just spectacular. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, it was like there's so many beautiful churches in this country. Just as like buildings, it was fantastic. It was like not a million miles off Westminster Abbey in terms of like, whoa, it's beautiful, and just like full of monks singing. So a delight. And
the monks
so there
were
was
all
loads
great.
of like fun little side quests, like going to mass, or it's on the grounds of a school and they have a swimming pool there. So I went swimming one day with a couple people. So that was just so many fun things to do.
I forgot to tell you. I actually forgot to tell everybody this. I don't know why. I must have got distracted. When I was walking on my like epic walk down all the way down to the bottom of the playing fields and stuff, which was like miles away, I was like,
did you find the statue?
No. What statue? No.
There's like on Google Maps. There's like a fancy statue like listed on Google Maps. It's by it's an Anthony Gormley statue. I was like, just in the middle of nowhere near there is an Anthony Gormley statue that I didn't see.
Maybe that's what these people were doing. So I went down and I was like, oh, like there's a path that goes down to a field, and I love an empty field. I'm like, I just like looking at empty fields. There were also sheep, but there was like this field, and I saw it and I thought, oh, I wonder what's in that field. So I walked down this little path, and then I saw that there were vans parked in the field, like a couple of white vans, which gave you murderer vibes.
Yeah.
So I immediately turned around and I thought, absolutely not. So I walked away, and then as I was walking away, another car came down and drove into the field. Anyway, and I completely just have wiped that from my mind because I must have thought like, don't say anything. You
didn't say anything because you were everyone else there was a cozy mystery author, and everything anybody said was like, "Are they a murderer? What happened there? Where could we bring the body?"
I should have like looked to see what was going on, but another car came and I was like, "Oh God, I got to get out of here." So anyway, I turned around and walked back. I was just
like everything, there was like there's so many more fun details we can even say. Like someone there had a past where they worked in an official government office, and they knew trying to be like discreet about it. They knew information that was interesting to creative mystery writers about like how you could commit certain crimes, and so they gave us a demonstration on it, and it was just like absolutely delightful way to spend an evening.
Yeah, it was so fun. It was so fun learning about other people and seeing their like how they got to where they were, and and also it was funny because even though some people who were with us were a lot further along in their careers, then there were other people who were a lot like further behind in their careers. There was no judgment, or there was no feeling of competition or anything. It was just nice to see how some people are doing it, and like you kind of learn what you can, take what you can, but it's just nice to see like the other people are doing it so well in their own lane, just thriving. it's very encouraging to think that at some point we could go back, and the next time we go back, or like in a couple of years, we could be in that position where we're super ahead and other people have joined us who think that we're the people who are doing really well. Yeah, it felt like a really good start for me, because I've obviously never been before. It felt like a really good start on a journey that I hadn't seen coming for myself, and also just like made loads of new friends, which was great, like really nice.
Well, so this is something everyone there apart from you is a cozy mystery author. Do you think it would be different, and would you want to organise a retreat of fantasy authors?
I wouldn't want to organise it because I'm not an organiser. I don't like the idea of that. But if somebody else were to organise one for fantasy authors, I would consider going. Yes, because that would be fun. I don't know, like I don't really think it matters what you write. I don't think that I didn't feel left out about people talking about cozy mystery, because my books are also mysteries in some way, like they're teen magic and like mystery stuff. So it kind of all interlinked anyway. I don't know how important it would be for me to talk to people about genre, because I didn't really, I guess because at this point I don't really need to take anything away. I don't need that conversation right now. But yeah, maybe
because there were a few like very specific business conversations that like it definitely helped have people in the same genre. But
because I'm not at that stage. Yeah, because like the conversations that were happening, like the little talks that were going on, and like kind of mini training sessions, didn't really affect me. I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. But certainly, like in the future, if I feel like I need to learn more from people in my own genre about those things, then it would be beneficial to be with those people. So I'm open to it. If people who are listening who are fantasy writers want to go on a retreat,
organising things,
and you love organising stuff, and you're happy for me just to literally show up with my sparkling personality and my need for coffee at all times, I'd be interested. I just don't want to be the person to do it. That's not.
I think there's very minimal organisation there. Like really, we don't have to do anything.
I do. Yes, I do think it's minimal, but it's still. I'm just not the person. That's not me. That's maybe a future Sam could organise stuff, and she probably will have to. And I just don't like, because I have to do it for every other part of my life. I'm the person that like books holidays, and I just don't want to be that person. I just want to show up. I just want to. I just want to float around and not be the person that's like in charge.
Okay.
So,
yeah. I mean, I also enjoy that. It is nice to just attend. Because I think my job is also just like organising things, and I think interestingly, almost nobody else there has got a day job. For like various reasons, either from their income being high enough, or they're doing like what I'm doing and they're just sort of living off savings for a while, or they have a spouse who supports them. Like I think it does feel like it's tricky to organize sort of thing when you are also busy during working hours.
It was just, I'm glad that people don't have to work full time, but I have I have other things that I have to be doing. It's like it takes a lot if you're working full time and you're also trying to write basically full time, having to then think about pulling together people to do stuff is too much for me. That's too much. No thanks. But I'll attend anybody else's thing. Somebody sent me a link actually.
Oh, really?
I got my local author friend whose book launch I went to the other week, said that because she's seen that I posted about being on the retreat, so she sent me a link saying, this is the place that I went to. Her and her boyfriend went on a retreat, just like the two of them, for 3 months. What? Fantastic for some. Or maybe she said 3 weeks. No, wait, it must have been 3 weeks. Maybe I've just really over-egged that because I was just like, sure. But either way, for a while, went on a retreat, and like quite local, like maybe an hour away, and had sent me the link to the place. So if she wants to organise something, I will show up. It's like in the countryside somewhere.
Like I definitely think like I want to figure out ways in which like bring some of that into my own life. And like I did a little like mini retreat here by myself where I went to the hostel just through the woods, and that was nice, but food wasn't provided. I was still having to like organise that, and I was by myself, so I was having to like organise my own time. And if I did just want to, I was 2 minutes away from my house, so I could just come down here and like watch the TV if I wanted to. And I think part of what I need is that energy of other people, and also that feeling like of it is like, it's this finite project time that feels really exciting to me, and it feels like it doesn't matter if you get tired, because at the end of it you're done, and you can then you're in a different phase of life. So I do need to figure out ways in which to do that. And yeah, and I don't quite know what that would be until I've got my housekeeper.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I have been creating that kind of feeling for myself by doing NaNoWriMo every year. It's creating that whole month where it's only about writing. And
which is weird, like I've never done NaNoWriMo. I don't like the idea of it at all. So why, when I clearly like writing about it like the way?
Yeah, it's a really nice way to feel like you're just really honing in on a project. And
it's being picked up by someone else though now.
I'm sure it is, yeah. I haven't looked at the
for
news.
indie authors.
Yes.
No, for indie authors. So on Indie Writers Club last week they were talking about it. I think Pro Writing Aid might be doing it.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
So yeah, someone's picking up, and it would be nice for it to be quite indie author focused. So yeah, I'll put in the show notes to see if I can figure out what it is. And maybe the problem is a month doesn't necessarily fit into my schedule. So I just think I'm not working to your schedule, whoever you are, nano people.
I have always really liked it, because I really like it's a rule that I've created for myself that just during November I like, that's all I'm doing. Like, that's it. I'm not like, I don't go out, I try not to be social. I know, like, my boyfriend knows that I'm like in the trenches, just working away. Every spare minute that I have is very much geared towards that, and that really feels like a very fun, focused time. But because I've been doing it for so long, I don't even think, like, I didn't even do the official Nano last year, but because I've just done it like for the past 15 years or whatever, I just did it myself because I know that I can. And it was really a good time. Well, I wrote this book that I just released.
Yeah.
So
a great time.
Yeah. So I really like that. I really like to be like, blinkers on. This is the time where I just do that.
And even though you're not doing it with anyone else, you're not tracking the word count anywhere, you just do it for yourself, with yourself.
I do track my word count, and I just post it on socials, and other people who are doing it kind of post theirs, and we see where we're up to. Yeah, it's just a nice way to keep track and share with people that I'm writing, and I'm actively writing. I'm not just la-di-daing around. It's like I'm glued to my keyboard. Please praise me. I need you to say good job. Which is what I want from everything in life. I just need someone to tell me I've done a good job. So.
Okay. Yeah, so I think I still need to do some thinking to figure out ways in which I can bring that retreat energy in, and figure out, which tweaks I need to make in my life to bring it slightly closer to retreating. Is it having the dedicated writing weeks? Is it also having someone else doing it with me? Is it enough to do it via screen, or do I need to be present? I don't know, but really encouraging to be like, I can write big amounts and feel confident about it. And again, I'm sort of trying to plan for next year, because I think I'm going to start a new series next year. And then I was trying to extrapolate from what I wrote this week to like, if I had sprint weeks next year, how much would I write? But like, if I start a new series, I know book 1 is not going to be that fast, and probably book 2 isn't going to be that fast. So the rest of this series could be, so if I want to do a few books in this series plus something else, I maybe need to moderate my plans a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a very good, fun learning experience, and I just feel so happy about it. I feel like I'm still glowing. Like I feel like the little like ember inside me is still glowing from all the stuff. Like I don't know why, in my mind I'm like some sort of weird mythical beast that is powered by coal.
Coal, yeah. Do we have anything else retreat based to talk about that's not your energy source?
No. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I mean, a lot, but also it's fine. So next week, big change of energy. Next week it is challenge week. Ooh, anyone who wants to do a challenge, get on board. Yes, definitely. I mean, that's another time that we have found is a good time to like do one thing. So maybe I need all my life organized into weeks. So yes, next week is challenge week. We've done a couple of challenge weeks so far. This is our third one, I think. And what we do is we take something that is big from your to-do list that you just basically wouldn't do otherwise because it's onerous in some way, and say you're going to do it and then do it. So if everyone else is listening, I would also recommend do the same thing. Pick an albatross from around your neck and, I don't know, hang it up or dry it out. I don't know what you do with albatross.
Let it fly?
Why would albatross be around your neck? I'm actually thinking about this. Anyway.
I don't know I don't know where that's come from.
It's a phrase, the albatross around my neck.
I know the phrase, but I don't know where.
I just made it up.
No, I don't. No, I just don't. I don't know where the phrase came from. I don't know. Yes.
No, me either. So anyway, grab your albatrosses, everyone.
Yeah.
And set yourself a challenge next week. So what challenge have you picked for challenge week?
Well, I didn't pick it so much as got told, but I bullied into it. You got
voluntold to do this.
Yes, I got like encouraged to do this, which is good because that's what I need. So it was the thing that I didn't want to do, which obviously means it's the thing I should do. So I have got a series that is currently sitting under my old pen name that fits in really with my current, like my new pen name. So my challenge is to work out / start the process of moving those books under my new pen name. I need to come up with like the big list of what I need to do for it. I want to come up with the strategy to keep those books selling. So some sort of marketing plan that'll see me through the next few months so that I feel like I know that I can keep the plate spinning, because I'm really good at like just forgetting things that are in the past. Like once a book's done, I'm just like, it's done. So I want to come up with the strategy to then keep those books within like the conversation of my work, and I really want to try and get a book club for them. So that is my big task that I've been putting off, and now I'm going to do it.
And you have to finish it next week. You should have to make the list of everything you have to do, but next week.
I just gotta break it down. So so I can see every step that I need to take and then start taking the steps. How about you? What is your challenge?
Well, the reason why I bullied Sam into this one is because her task sounded much more fun than mine, because mine is making a big long list of admin things. And I was like, I can't be alone in this. I can't just have to face this horrible task by myself. So I'm about to finish my job and I want to do admin afternoons, at least that's my current plan. And I've got so much admin that never gets done. Like I was saying, I just did some A+ content earlier and it's been sat on my list for ages. It's not very time consuming, but it's one of those things that's got multiple steps to it, such as remember where you put A+ content in and check what the module options are and check how you do it, and then go through the weird tabs which is like you seem to have to click everything 10 times, like confirm it and pick the country. Anyway, and it's just like more annoying and more energetically draining than it should be. It should be, I've thought about it and I transmit it into my machine, it does it, but it's not that easy. So I've got tons of things on my list like that, which just like, they're not big, they're not difficult, they're just like, they look like one thing, but they're 10 things. And so then I'm just ignoring them because I don't have time to do 10 things, or even the energy to think about the 10 things. So this week, my challenge week task is to, I might not finish it, but I'm gonna, because in fact, I don't want to rush it, but I want to make myself a gigantic expandable list of every task and all its subtasks and make myself a plan for like everything I need to do and just like put it in one place so that I can start checking it all off.
Yeah, that's a very good and awful challenge to have.
Yeah, that's why I had to make yours manage worse, because yours was just like, apply for a book club. I was like, that is too fun. No.
It wasn't just apply for a book club. It was also like
but it's
figure out how to keep marketing my books. So then I got told, actually no, why don't you just move all your books under your new pen name?
Which I think is sensible.
It's sensible, I know. I just didn't want to do it, but I will, because you're right. I don't deserve the fun job. I deserve the bad stuff. Yeah.
But this is the point of challenge week. The challenge week, if it was fun, you've done it already. Challenge week is the stuff that we have not done because it's horrible.
Yes. Yeah. I do look forward to it. I do like to tackle the big things every now and again. So hopefully everyone listening, if you pick a challenge, you can join us in challenge week. You will get to hear how we did next week when you tune in. And if you're not subscribed, tell a friend about this. And
sign up to our Discord, where we
Yes.
were not very present this week because we were both retreated, but we'll be more present in future. And yeah, it's a nice chat. And in fact, I did do a quick writing sprint on one of the evenings from our monastery with someone in New Zealand from the Discord from
I
our
saw
group. It was
that.
lovely.
I thought, oh, that was a sneaky
I
little
know.
thing that you're doing.
Yeah, I just hopped on, and again, very motivating. So yes, I think we'll hopefully do more things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so join the Discord, and then do also in the show notes you can find the link to our coffee if you'd like to support the podcast. We pay currently out of pocket for the hosting and editing of this, and if you'd like to support that and buy us a cup of coffee, you know we love coffee, do feel free. I say the link in the show notes. We will be back next week having completed our onerous albatross-like challenges. Good luck with yours, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
You've been listening to Pen to Paycheck Authors.
Stay tuned for our next episode, and don't forget to subscribe to learn how to write your way to financial success.